So what exactly is Matthew McConaughey's secret of success? The number one habit that he has? Without doubt for me, it's the habit of knowing his future self. Matthew was born in 1969. He's done so many films, from Dazed and Confused to the Dallas Buyers Club to Wolf of Wall Street. But he did win an Oscar in 2014 for the Dallas Buyers Club. If you haven't seen that film, it's a great film. But the thing I'd really encourage you to do is to watch his Oscar-winning speech. It's truly amazing. First off, he thanks everybody who's helped him along the way. And then right at the end, he says, and lastly, I want to thank my hero. And he tells the story of when he was 15 years old, a very important person came to him and said, who's your hero? And he said, I don't know, I need to think about it. And he saw the person 2 weeks later, and the person said, so who's your hero? And he goes, I have thought about it, and it's me in 10 years' time. And what he says is that every day, every week, every month, I know who I'm chasing. I know who I am pursuing. And as a coach, that's what I am. The role of a coach is to help someone go from where they are to where they want to be. In fact, the word coach comes from a Hungarian word which means a coach and horses. So why would anyone go on a coach and horse? Well, it's pretty obvious, right? Because they are somewhere and they want to go somewhere. Very few people would say, take me away from here, I just don't want to be here. People often know when it comes to transport where they want to go, why they get on a plane, why they get in a car. But in life, most people don't know where they want to go beyond a few days, weeks, and months. And we've seen this. We've measured this. We've seen the brain activity. When we ask people to think of themselves, we see a part of the brain light up. When we ask people to think of a stranger, we see a different part of the brain light up. When we ask people to think of themselves a few weeks, a few months into the future, people don't know who that person is. To them, it's a stranger. So we know who we're going to be today. If I said, what are you doing tonight or tomorrow? Chances are you start to see that. And what Matthew McConaughey worked out is that there are three of him. There is his past, which is his story, all the films he's done, his life. He's had a very interesting upbringing with parents that got divorced and married each other 3 times. He's had a very challenging life, like so many people, but he's not his past. He's reinvented himself. He has his present, and he's learned to enjoy being in the present, but he also knows there's a future, and it's a future beyond what's happening right in the moment. And that, to me, is the number one habit of any successful people. Truly happy people know there's something in them that they actually have to do. Now, of course, could you build a relationship to your future self? Look, ultimately, you're going to meet that person. But what I'd like you to do is to take a moment and think about 2 doors. So one door you could go down, which would be you continuing to do exactly what you're doing, the same way you're thinking, the same habits, the same person that you are today. Just keep doing what you're doing. Where would that take you? Versus you deciding to change, you deciding that there is a future self out there, and you building a relationship to that person, you starting to be guided by that person. Where do you think most people are going in life? Where most people are going in life is where they've been before. Most people think who they are is who they're always going to be. And what I would say is the greatest of all achievements is our ability to reinvent ourselves, to become a totally different human being. That's what we see with actors. Actors are really good at recognizing, okay, this is the part I need to play. I need to become this person. And of course, lights, camera, actions, they become that part. And some people play the part so well that they end up getting rewarded for an Oscar. But life is a movie. Right now, you watching this, you are the director, you are the producer, you are the actor. You can actually choose your supporting cast. You're writing your future right now. The question is, What type of future do you want to create? What type of movie do you actually want to be in? So what Matthew talks about is, I want to thank my hero. He knows who his hero is. But what is a hero? What does it mean? Well, the word hero comes from a Greek word, heros. And the heros is the protector. And I believe that once you build a relationship to your future self, you could be protected by that person. You could be guided by that person. If you YouTube any of Matthew McConaughey's speeches and when he talks, he's done some great motivational talks and podcasts and interviews. He talks about the two wolves that we all have in our head. One that wants us to stay where we are and not stand out and wants us to just be who we have been. And another wolf who wants us to grow and take advantage of all of the situations and the opportunities and the possibilities that exist for all of us. But he talks about which one of those wolves are you feeding? Because the one that you feed will be the one that becomes more familiar to you. And I think from my experience of having spent over 30 years working with people, I can tell you, most people just listen to an outdated story that produces outdated results and makes people ultimately not be who they're capable of being. So surely you can understand why Matthew McConaughey's success habit, that number one habit of success, knowing the person who he's committed to becoming. And this isn't about being happy. He says actually a lot of people who pursue happiness become unhappy. He talks about pursuing joy, which is pursuing the challenges along the way of becoming. Because when you listen to that Oscar-winning speech, he says, I will never be my hero. But that just keeps me going to keep pursuing someone. Because I think life is an endless pursuit. Life is an opportunity to grow and get better. Life is an opportunity for us to do things that are difficult. And look, one more thing that he says, which I love. He says, with any fight that you choose in your life, any challenge, you should be prepared to lose that challenge. You want to go into challenges where you could come out a loser, but you could come out on top. Because that is where you really find what it is that you have. So maybe things don't work out for you, but there's always that opportunity to continue to pursue the person I would say you were put on this earth to be. Look, all of the content that we put out into the world right now is all about building a relationship to your future self. And I'm going to leave you with one question. What will be your greatest ever achievement? Is it possible that your greatest ever achievement will be the person that you become? Take a moment to think about it, maybe make a comment below, and know with everything that we put out, we're putting out there for you and for your future self. Your future self is talking to you. It's time to listen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.